Welcome back to Our Darker Purpose. We've beaten the game, and I was going to leave it at that, but I wanted to make one more episode for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that we've unlocked hard mode, and I kind of wanted to see at least once what that's about, and to see how far we can get using our knowledge and our mastery of the game, as much as it is. The other reason is that I wanted to discuss the story a little bit, because I was a little bit confused. I offered my own half-baked, guesstimation of what it was about. And overall, I think it'd be interesting just to see how far we can get in hard mode. The first thing I'm going to do for hard mode, I'm going to unequip Mud and Hide and Seek and activate the teleportation again, because I don't think those affect it. Shooting while rolling and roll speed, the teleport is instantaneous, so those don't do anything. I know I said that I hated vanishing, but we only tried it once, and the other reason I want to try it again is because while I was laying in bed and shaking my fist at the ceiling about how unfair Sindar's timekeeper is, I realized that I could potentially teleport through the cog arms that he swings around. And that might be a way to actually take care of that boss without too much trouble, if I can pull it off. So we're going to do that. And we can look at some of our other unlocks that we haven't looked at yet. Okay, so hard mode is a class you have. Okay, good to know. Alright, let's get rid of mercantilism. Whispers. And I guess criticism. Quaffable seems almost required. 2 extra juice box inventory is huge. Unlock hard mode. Foam. We unlocked this last time too. Items with durability last 5 times as long. So I was saying that fragile glassware is the strongest item in the game, and it breaks after 80 damage. This is going to increase that way up to 400 damage, which is amazing. But it costs 3 periods to equip, which means we can't even... We would have to get rid of the teleport, and we would have to get rid of Quaffables to even equip it. Start with 777 life, but damage reduces health permanently. That's a chalk-based ability that I'm not really into. So I think we're going to go with hard mode, teleport, and Quaffables for our hard mode loadout. And let's just see how far we can get. I just drank a lot of iced vanilla latte, so I am brimming with caffeine. I'm a little bit flatulent, but I am amped to take this on. So far, everything's the same. The deaths aren't shooting laser beams out of their eyes or anything. But I'm fairly certain hard mode is going to make some of the enemies have different patterns or more... And there's our first clue right there. All of the... Actually, no, that's just the champion trash can. I thought all of them were shooting multiple projectiles. I'm sure some of the enemies will have different patterns, or more projectiles, more HP, or they might just do more damage. So we'll find out. Are you no. He seems to shoot more often. I don't know, I'm having a lot of trouble with him, and I can't figure out why. All I know is we're having a bad time. Something is clearly different, because we're at, we're already down to about 50 HP in the first room we entered. I feel like we're getting more experience, because we already leveled up. The other thing I figured out while looking up the forum thread about the story, I thought the memory rooms were just rooms with chests in them. The memory room is actually when you follow that clipboard ghost and he goes into a wall. So, I think since it's this early in the game, let's get to double the likelihood of a memory room. Because that could pay off with more tokens, juice boxes. If the clipboard ghost attacks us, that usually translates into an item. These guys, their bubbles are moving noticeably faster. Unless I'm just imagining that. Alright, that is our boss door. I'm going to explore the rest of the floor first. These guys might be a little bit faster too, but it might just be my brain telling me that they are, because I know that we're in hard mode. You ever eat a textbook? What? You know, like someone stored a textbook in your compartment and you ate it. That would go against almost everything I stand for. Okay, once. Alright, we do not have money for any of the things we so strongly desire. It's also possible that a lot of the hard mode changes are going to be seen in the bosses. Alright, that is the youngest sad Kool-Aid brother. I think the other reason to choose teleport is that if I lose horribly, I can blame my lack of accomplishment on the fact that I chose teleport and I'm not good with it. Because clearly it's not going to be me. Because we all know I've mastered this game completely. Alright. One difference is our obsolete operator here. He is summoning Capulets, which is not something he could do before. Also, the Wound Wards. I don't think he could summon big boys. I'm pretty sure he was limited to Brogs before. I think I'm going to focus fire him. Okay, the changes are minor so far, but we are at half health, which I feel would not be happening in a normal mode. We're gonna go with wealthy. Leaderless means we don't get our free item. Man, the hardest thing so far was the champion trash can frog. That guy really had my number. Okay, the champions are definitely different. Ooh, doggy. This guy did not summon blobs before. And it's very possible I could die in this room if I didn't have healing. Alright, so there's a passive healing item which we're very much going to need, it seems. Okay. Clipboard Ghost means there's a memory room on this floor. Alright, I don't particularly like either of these upgrades. I forget to use my use item most of the time anyway. So in this one situation, I'm going to take the Kite Runner. It could be my brain playing tricks on me, but I believe the trash cans are firing more frequently. They gotta be. Okay, he's gone into the wall, so we're about to follow him. Alright, let's examine the items. I think that was chalk. Token. Alright, a piece of lore about the Brogs. After massacring their enemies in the aftermath of the disappearance, Goneril and Regan turned on many of their own followers. These students were strong enough to survive the initial disappearance of the teachers, but too weak to carve a place for themselves in the new hierarchies of Capulets and Woundworts. Expelled and hunted, they fled to Edgewood's darkest corners. Over time, they grew feral, navigating the school through scent and instinct. The other factions now call them the Brogs. The Brogs tend to attack from the shadows, ambushing unwary visitors with a hail of rocks and thumbtacks. As of yet, there is no evidence to support rumors of fangs and claws. Despite their lack of strategy or leadership, the Brogs control the lowest floors of the building, and many of the abandoned classrooms. They are the scariest students in Edgewood, except for all of the others. So this would be a good time to discuss the story a little bit more. At the end of the game before, I kind of gave my own take on it, which is way off the mark. I kind of thought that the orphanage the orphanage was some sort of eldritch being that was disguising itself or taking the form of an orphanage. And that another being like had attacked it by creating Cordy. That's just incorrect. The real ending, or the real lore and understanding of the story, you basically get through examining all of the lore pages. If you remember, we encountered a few Shuddering Gym stories, and if you read all of those and you kind of piece them together, you eventually learn what's going on in Edgewood and what all of it represents. So, clearly, this boss is a lot different. It looks like we have some enemies that we can't damage. Man, we're not having a good time. It's kind of sad I'm using chalk this early, but we're not making too much headway here. There's more spikes on the ground from these guys, and this boss is just 10 times harder than he was before. No joke. Oh, oh man. I deserve an F, not a D. I'm gonna go with too small just so I can find the vending machine earlier. My confidence in my abilities has gone down exponentially since that boss fight. We have another memory room, which should be easy to find since we have a small floor. So yeah, all of the enemies, I think they shoot faster. The bubbles are faster. I think the trash can brogs have faster projectiles as well, since I'm having so much trouble dodging them. I almost missed the token since I'm so focused on staying alive already. Even the desk, the weakest enemy in the game, is kind of frightening me on hard mode here. We're also not getting the items we want so far. Ultimately, we're going to have to treat these early floors not as free floors like we used to, but as things we really need to pay attention on. You know, I once fell down a flight of stairs. Yeah, you tell the story all the time. Well, look, I can't help being a desk celebrity. Falling down a flight of stairs doesn't make you a desk celebrity. Yeah, alright, what have you done? Sat in a room while people put things on top of you? Yeah, that's what I thought. That is true. Don't let other people criticize your accomplishments, no matter how meager they may be. So, one of the other initial theories as to the ending, basically when we see all of, like, the Cordy clones, or the Cordy copies, or the Cordy reincarnations, whatever you want to call them, kind of breaking out of the building. The first theory I read that I liked was that, there are a lot of items to investigate. So one person thought that Cordy represented like a virus. The reason being, because the last boss is called his natural defenses, and Cordy keeps multiplying like a virus, and the fact that when she's tearing down the walls of Edgewood at the end, you basically hear somebody say, you know, hold him down, try this, test this, oh no, it's over. So once you beat the body's natural defenses and have multiplied enough, basically the host body dies, and that was basically the doctors saying, hey, it's over. Like, we're trying to save him, but he's dead now. And that's why you hear that. The case of the flying ice. The bandits' henchmen filed into the kitchen. They ignored the soap bubbling over the stove, the potato sack scattered haphazardly about, the broken glass crunching under their feet. The chef with the mustache found himself crowded onto the long chopping counter. The bandit's refined voice floated into the room from the hallway. "My dear friend," he said, "I fear that your employ in my household has come to its conclusion." He had almost reached the door. "A recording device and a mutton chop, the one dish I would never eat. Very creative. And I think I know who put you up to it." The bandit rounded the corner and locked eyes with the chef. Then his mouth opened and his hand flashed to the wall. Shuddering Jim threw himself from the counter. At the same moment, the bandit threw his cleaver. The knife skewered the chef's hat and pinned it to a stove. One of the henchmen made a grab, but only the fake mustache. Jim's momentum carried him over their surprised arms and through the bay windows, the giant ones that overlooked the sea. The last thing he remembered was the fall. So that's another little bit of the Shuddering Jim series. I really like that person's take on the ending, that we kind of represent a virus. Part of me already wants to buy juice boxes to stay alive. I think that's kind of sad. I'm gonna get the gold star. I think that's a decent damage upgrade. So I think the real explanation of this game, based on the Shuddering Jim series, once you piece it all together, the whole series is about Shuddering Jim trying to outsmart the bandit and finally catch him. Shuddering Jim is kind of like an ex-pickpocket, and now he's an investigator trying to catch the bandit. I'm actually going to focus on the boss, because I'm sure this is going to be really difficult. The fire is significantly faster. Not as bad as the, that candelabra, whatever it's called, that was the worst. That was really hard to avoid anything. This is okay. Harder than before, but I think I can manage. Ooh, teleportation. That was clutch. Main benefit of teleport is you can go through things instead of like getting hit as you roll, you know, try to roll into them. Alright. That was okay. I thought we might die on that boss, to tell you the truth. Chapter 1 boss. I feel like we're going to be below 20% life a lot, so there we go. Anyway, if you piece together the books, as Shuddering Jim is trying to outsmart the bandit, the bandit commissions a poison to use against Jim, but Shuddering Jim eventually manages to poison the bandit with his own poison. And people are saying the real end of the story, this is taking place inside the bandit's body, and he's kind of going through mental trauma as he lay dying for the most part. So he's kind of on his deathbed with, you know, the doctors or his henchmen trying to help him. We're gonna go with the concoction, and then I think I'm gonna buy the crab if we get enough coins. So the bandit's, you know, laying there, fighting off the poison, and he's going through all this mental trauma. And Cordy kind of represents, like, the trauma or the poison going through the body. And when you beat his natural defenses at the end, that's basically the bandit going insane and all of his defenses are gone, and that's why you hear like the cackling and the laughing while people are trying to save him, like it's over. His body can't take it anymore. And I guess he's reliving his youth. Cordy, there's another bit of lore that says Cordy, Regan, and Goneril all arrived at the orphanage at the same time with an air of darkness about them. Took a lot of damage there, and I don't like that happened. Cordy, Regan, and Goneril, they all arrived at the same time at the orphanage with an air of darkness about them. And even though Cordy is kind of cast as like our good shy girl that has never done anything wrong, and she's the quiet one, in actuality, she's kind of the ringleader, and she's not as good as she's made out to be. And Cordy kind of bullied the bandit, who was another student at this orphanage. And he's kind of reliving that as he's laying dying from the poison. And each time Cordy dies in the orphanage, that represents like him suppressing his past trauma. But it just keeps coming back. So every time we respawn, like it's coming back and we're trying again. And at the end of the game, basically we kill the bandit, and Shuddering Jim succeeds in his mission. Makes a little more sense if we read all of the book put together than me explaining it, but that's what I got from it. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense than what I said when we beat the game. But one thing this game does an excellent job of is the atmosphere and the lore. Very few games have I beaten the game and I enjoyed the story so much, and I was, you know, intrigued enough to actually go online and look up the meaning. And that's really the hallmark of a good story in general. Like, even if this wasn't a game, anything that makes me want to go online and look up, like, what does this mean? And you know, can I look into this more? That's really the hallmark of a good story. These guys are really popping off those globes. The other thing, too, I found out is that the characters are based on the Shakespearean play King Lear. Because I guess King Lear's 3 daughters were Cordelia, Goneril, and Regan. Which kind of makes sense, because, you know, who came up with the name Goneril? That's not a common female name. So they represent King Lear's 3 daughters, and they shortened Cordelia to Cordy, I guess. So that's pretty neato. This is a very scary chest room, I gotta say. Especially since these Caltrops girls are already a little bit difficult to track. Yeah, I was worried about Sindar's timekeeper and how I was gonna, you know, manage him better, but I'll be very impressed with myself if I manage to make it that far, but we'll give it the old college try. Uh-oh. Alright, that was a really bad old college try. Let's go ahead, give it one more shot. We'll give it one more shot, and then we'll call the day on this series. We didn't get particularly good items or level up upgrades. Seeing the changes of the Chapter 1 boss is... I at least want to see that. Okay. I think this doubles... Yeah, those bubbles are really popping off, man. Yeah, doubles our juice box capacity but reduces healing a little bit. That's totally fine. I think it's very, very much worth it. And hopefully we can use teleport a little bit more effectively as I get used to it here. It still has its drawbacks, but I think we're seeing some benefits too. I believe this is the best level up upgrade to get early in the game. Even though the champions are really hard now. But extra champion per floor, that just equates to lots of free items. Simple as that. And honestly, we can't end the series with me dying to a chair-throwing girl. It wouldn't be right. Man, feels like I'm fighting Specialist Fenwick on the first floor. Like, that's such a huge difference in difficulty. Very small floor. Alright, let's see what new tricks you have up your sleeve. Nothing good, probably. More chalk clouds, like the room is basically unnavigable. Again, my major complaint about teleport is that you're positioned in such a radically different place at the end of the teleport. So you kind of have to get back into position. And you can't damage them continuously like you can with the roll. But that wasn't too bad. Let's go with 2 big so we can stack a little bit of experience. Trying to take this run a little bit more seriously. Because if we don't take it seriously, we've seen what happens. We die to chair girls. Just like my pappy did. Yeah, I couldn't even figure out why these trash cans were so much more difficult. Like, the champion trash can, I think he took like half my health immediately. But they're firing a little more often and much faster. So I need to activate my feline reflexes, I guess. Okay, we already have 14 juice box capacity, so this is really going to gimp us too much. So we're going to go with the chalk bonus for future investment and a small damage bonus. Yikes! The bubbles got me cornered, man. And they're like homing in on me and stuff. Alright. We got a decent use item out of him. I still don't think we can. Yeah, we have nothing. We are broke as a joke. But we got a second champion. These guys seem to be largely unchanged. It's possible they throw a larger spread of call traps and maybe they walk a little bit faster, but I'm not noticing a huge difference like I did with most of the other enemies so far. I think that's the passive healing, like every 5 kills you get 2% health. Yes. Oh boy, okay, don't get hit unnecessarily. These guys are going to disappear, but it'd be nice to get some experience if I can kill 1 or 2. The spread hurts a little bit, but I can't say no to an attack rate bonus. I think these guys got the biggest buff so far. They used to be probably one of the weakest enemies in the game, but now they can apparently summon stuff. Oh. It's kind of cool, since they have pots on their heads, and they summon little blobs, it kind of ties them into the Cauldron of Yesterdayers a little bit. Even these fires are faster. I would say the difficulty now of the trash cans is almost on par with the flowers on the terrace levels, just because they're shooting so fast. Alright, let's go ahead and visit the last way here. Yikes. Yeah, this is worse than the flowers, man. So the Chapter 1 boss, Goneril, there's already so many projectiles littering the screen. If they're going to be traveling significantly faster, like they are here, that's not going to be an easy boss. But I feel like we're doing a lot better this time around. It's a little bit early to tell, but at least we didn't use all of our juice boxes by the end of the second floor here. Alright, we're low on money, we can't go to the vending machine. Alright, Sudsy. I once said you're the easiest boss in the game, let's see how that's changed. So we have double projectiles this time, and double spikes, but really the double spikes kind of help me because it blocks more of his ice shards there. Okay. Oh, use your use item, dude. Like, what am I doing? I have a feather in my hand this whole time. It's just sitting there. The other good thing about the teleport, like, once you use it, like, bam, you're out of there. Like, there's no wind up. You're not slowly moving away. Like, you're just... boop. Not too bad. Not too bad. Leaderless is just always bad, I think, so... makes the enemies easier, but we need to stack items. Alright, chair girls. You bested me before. But I'm back and I'm stronger than ever. You gentlemen are very fast runners. Oh. One thing I can say, hard mode does not make me more likely to step onto spikes. That's just all me. I would like memory rooms just to get more, you know, more of that lore collected. But this is one of my favorite upgrades because I like stacking permanent life on using juice boxes. We will not be cooked. No. We will not be chopped. No. We will not be baked or fried or diced. No. From here on, this is a game about potatoes. Thank you for the tokens. I mean, I thought the game was always about potatoes. I guess I was wrong. I mean, based on how confusing the story is, it wouldn't surprise me if this was a game about potatoes. Not a fan, dude. Oh, he dropped, like, the best item in the game. One of them, anyway. He reminds me of, like, a Yo Mama joke. Like, Yo Mama, so fat, she has her own, like, center of gravity or gravitational pull. Since he pulls you in. But these are some big ins here. So it doesn't surprise me if they do have their own gravitational pull. Doctor's note. Ooh. We want this badly. I want that real bad. It's like a disquieting drought on steroids. We're gonna need 4 more tokens to get it, though. Whatever the other items are of that vending machine, that's what we want. He's popping off more clouds. The Eraser Vest dudes have been buffed as well. They used to summon 1 cloud and kind of sit around till it dissipated. I think they can do 2 now. Make a lap around the tables. I don't know why, but this room reminds me of that room in Game of Thrones where, what are they called, like the Crows or something? But basically the people who have committed a crime or not committed a crime, have just been accused of it, they go to protect the wall. Like the meeting room in Castle Black, that's what this reminds me of. The Eraser Vest dudes don't, but the tables do for some reason. What is... I don't think I've had this item. Attacks may create fire waves. Oh! It's a ninjutsu we haven't seen before. Okay, we want the doctor's note. We managed to get 2 tokens out of these guys. That's the opposite of upsetting. Okay. Ah, yikes. Probably one of the better chalk upgrades, I'm guessing. Not gonna say no to my chalk clouds healing me. Also, the Doctor's Note will stack with the droughts, like the disquieting droughts. The Flame Wave, I would say it's better than the Bubbles, based on what I've seen so far. Because the Bubbles deal like a very small percentage of our main attack damage, while the Fire Wave seems to deal most of it. And it travels significantly faster. Did we get enough tokens for the Doctor's Note? We're too short. We're 2 coins short. And it's kind of sad. He's gonna have some horrible thing that he does now, I bet. Oh, okay. So he summons not only a second helping, but a third helping as well. Ugh. Do not like. Wait. Oh. Yeah, our juice box healed 15 damage. That's not a lot, but we got the, we haven't gotten any buffs, and we got the tea that reduces it a little bit. So that's correct. I thought hard mode nerfed our juice boxes for a second. This isn't that much worse. I've seen upgrades for all the bosses. The only boss that got upgraded to the point that I feel it was ridiculous was the Candelabra. We're gonna go with the 25 life. Getting a couple more juice boxes isn't going to help our already massive quantity. We're not going to get the Doctor's Note, unfortunately, so we're going to settle with a normal juice box upgrade. Since we have such a high juice box max capacity now, juice box upgrades are going to be all the more important. And up we go. Feeling a lot better about facing the Chapter 1 boss this time. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm going to die on the way to it, like I did last time. You are too fast, guys. You have Sanic speed. Old Smoky. That's an apt nickname. Alright. Probably my least favorite roll item. But it's extra damage. I think some of the rooms have changed, because I remember this, like, triple Grudge Girl arm room, and I don't think it had enemies in it before. I think it was just kind of how it was. Alright. I'm cool with the Horned Beast steak. Also cool with the juice box in this room. Nice. I can actually teleport through the beds. Oh boy. I have not gotten used to you guys. Oh. Well, at least we're getting these juice boxes, man. Okay. Even these guys are harder. I'll save you, dog, don't worry. Oh. I think this is critical. Critical chance means damage, essentially, so I'm all for it. 100%. Nuts. Double nuts. Alright, we're gonna keep buffing our juice boxes no matter what. That is first priority. None of the other items appeal greatly to me. Oh, jeez. For some reason I thought her chair was going to disappear after she died. I guess I don't have object permanence yet. Alright. It is time for the boss. Yes, indeedy. And what horrors await us? I was so scared that I tried to dodge my own birds that I summoned. Alright, so far, when you destroy these shacks, they summon an eraser vest dude. Which is fine. Gee, no, dude. Stop getting hit. Also, this thing needs to die right now because it summons permanent spiked globes. Like, who... Oh my gosh. Yeah, you need to die immediately. That's not good. Before it summoned little globes, and that was okay, but this isn't okay. Oh my god, it's bad. This fight wouldn't be that much harder if it wasn't for the spiked globes. That's just ridiculous. I don't think they're going away, man. I think they're just here to stay. Yeah. We drank 500 juice boxes, because I just glugged a whole crap load of them. Alright, so Goneril sucks us in now too, because that's just how she rolls. Alright. Expert teleportation use there. Okay. That went okay, minus the spiked balls, obviously. But it could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. We're definitely not taking papery. We can't handle it. I think too big is the way to go. I don't want to miss a vending machine, because there could be something good there, so we're gonna go with too big. And we get a memory room, which we will take advantage of if we don't lose them. Okay, enemies seem the same so far. They seem to be walking faster, maybe, but... maybe those fireballs are traveling faster? But so far it seems okay. Famous last words, so far it seems okay. It's not okay. He like maxed out his ice jutsu. He took an upgrade like, ooh, double your ice balls? This looks good, let's take that one. 20 damage. Move speed is nice. Chests occasionally come with bonus juice. Anything that gives us juice is gonna be top tier. Alright, so Mr. Ghost went this way, I think. Oh, okay, don't look at the ghost, look at the enemies, because that's what's killing you horribly. You max out your ice balls too, huh? No, okay. I get it, you like ricocheting things. Ooh! This is so good for us. Okay. Let's use the birds one last time for posterity. And we are picking this baby up. In the future, that's going to give us a full 14 juice boxes. And that's going to stack with our level up upgrade that gives us permanent health from juice box use. I think that's the way to do it. Ow. Man, that's just the normal ones. I thought we had another champion. Jeez. Jeez Louise. I think the Grudge Girl arms are exactly the same. I don't think they've changed at all. Alright. We didn't get any items, we just got some lore. The Woundwarts. The Woundwarts are a warlike group of brawny children, led by Goneril, an enormous student who carries 2 croquet mallets. The largest of the Woundwarts fight by hurling furniture and fists, and there aren't really any small ones. These were Edgewood's worst bullies even before the disappearance. Many were suspected of un-Edgewood behavior during last year's summer merriment, in which several of the Meeker students found themselves tied to the firework launching apparatus. Today, the Woundwards rely on simpler strategies, like blinding an unsuspecting passerby with chalk dust, and then rolling globes towards him. I actually think their number one strategy is chalk men hiding behind Grudge Girl arms, and closet men holding you down. I'm sure that's somebody's fetish, closet men holding them down. Desk man seems the same. I like the amount of tokens we're getting from this floor. Teleport. Alrighty. Oh my goodness gracious, what the heck? We have like a random... We have a random enclave of, like, gifted and Capulets here. This is really bizarre. Like, I'm not strong enough to be facing this at this point. Yikes. Can I just like rest on the bed and regain my health? Jeez. Will you guys chill out? Get it? Because he's throwing ice. And 2 more tokens in the corner. Like, what is this? Like, why would there be a room in Edgewood where there's beds surrounded by ice? Like, that's their solution for hot summer days. Like, yeah, just sleep in the middle of a bunch of ice cubes. It'll be okay. You won't have a mess in the morning as they've all melted. Alright. What do you got to sell me? Let's go with the Bunsen burner. It means, like, more damage with our basic attack, since it can maybe set him on fire. So I think that's our best bet. Oh, jeez. I feel like there's more closet men in this room than there otherwise would be. Thank you. And bonus juice. I mean, I guess spawning the pet also equates to more damage, but on the upper floors it gets confusing because the Koopa Troopas that you spawn are the same Koopa Troopers that you see with our Our caring friends, I think they're called. Alright. It is time to fight the boss and depart. Okay. This is one of the easy... In normal mode, this is one of the easier bosses. They're doubling up on the confusion, but, ultimately, I'm okay with that. Not a biggie. As long as they don't double up on the Grudge Girl arms, I'm okay. Like, it's not a big deal. We just have to remember to time all of our stuff correctly. And we can get out of this peachy keen. Ah. Piano bench is a little bit annoying. But aren't they always? Are we hitting him? Can we only hit him in the middle? Like, all of a sudden we weren't hitting him anymore. Was it always like that and I just wasn't paying attention? It was probably always like that and I just thought I was dealing damage, but I wasn't. Alright. Pretty easy boss. Again, wealthy's great when you're really low on coins, but we have some coins and we want to buy something. So we are going with this floor. The game can't deny my consumerist spirit. It's still extremely unfortunate that we didn't manage to buy the doctor's note. Like a flat 50% bonus to all of our juice boxes would have been insane. Okay, he was already my least favorite champion, and now he's even worse, because he has a wacky inflatable flailing arm tube man desk on both sides now. Like, I almost want to use chalk on him, that's how bad it is. Do you see how far that desk went? That's ridiculous. I'm just gonna take my time on him. Like, I don't want to lose because of a desk man. Oh my gosh! All right, jeez, Louise. Not super excited about the chalk upgrades, but hey. I might be doing it wrong, but to me, chalk is something you stockpile to blow all at once. It's kind of like having a swear jar, where like you slowly accumulate throughout the year, and then it's like, oh, let's give ourselves a treat, and then like you use it to buy like a new washer 10 years from when you started it. Oh. What? Oh, I thought that was my flame, but it was clearly his. Alright. Not a fan of relativity sweetener. It's better having it than not having it, but that's as much as I can say about it. Any more coins? No. Stop. I gotta stop getting hit. It's an obvious statement, but I need to keep telling myself. Juicebox empowerment. Light is less, but it really buffs up our personal strength. I'm gonna save my money just for when we need juice boxes. Merit Slippers is worth it. We want to have 15% dodge, so we're going to take it. However, I'm going to use a couple juices now before we start the killing. The speed bonus and the attack speed bonus from Nevermore's Inkwell are very noticeable. Alright. Another one of these horrible rooms. Ah. I really dislike you guys. Sleeping in your ice beds, shooting flames out of your mechanical dragons. Seem like really expensive hobbies. Maybe we should have used more juice boxes. I'm hoping we can get to 18 kills without me dying. All right. We've never liked the Telltale Heart, but we're gonna keep going with our juice box upgrades, and especially when we refill our juice boxes with our second helpings, Atlas Glugged is gonna be great. Like great with multiple R's, like Tony the Tiger. Like they're great. Come on. Getting hit by Grudge Girl arms is so passé. Like, it's 2008, and I'm just 2000 late. And if you don't get that reference, then good for you. Alright. We just book it in this room. I don't think I've ever benefited from Mephi's wickedness. And if I did, it means I don't know how it works. But I think it only works with the level up upgrade, where you get interest on your tokens at the end of the level. Oh! Oh wait, never mind. I thought that was a closet man, and I thought my pet damaged him, and then I thought I had found a secret way to kill the closet men by damaging them with the summoned pet. But I was all wrong about all of that. It was just a flame mage. Alright, it is boss time. Whew. I'm kind of wondering how this guy's going to be different, and it's scaring me just a little bit. So far, he's about the same. But I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to try to kill him immediately and take damage to do it. I think he has more health, that's a given. This is one instance where I would really like more range. Because if you stay far away from him, his shots will spread out, and then you have a nice area to kind of go between the shots. So one change is he gets 2 bishops. Oh, cool. Okay, so I didn't even notice this before, but like the rook can only move vertically and horizontally, while the bishops move diagonally, just like in chess. That's a pretty neat touch. So go with his chess theme. Ooh, he gets a lot more pieces. I don't like it. This is definitely significantly more difficult, but I still say the biggest buff any boss got was the candelabra. Because that thing just ruined my day. We're low on juice boxes, but I'm still feeling okay since we have the second helpings. And we have Reach Regan's Floor. I was at 44 health, but the Hornby Steak healed me for a fair bit. So I have that going for me, so that's nice. The flowers seem largely the same. I need to not get hit. By normal enemies that I know how to dodge. Okay, there was no dodge in that. Whew. Maximum ricochet upgrades. I wish I could get that book. So 6% dodge, hopefully that's gonna stack with our merit slippers. He was like inside the sandbox. I'm going to assume we got the merit slippers dodge already. I'm really liking the red umbrella. The fire waves are really nice. Alright, machine. What do you got? Juice wax buff. And then the other items do not appeal to me. I'm thinking the best call before we fight Reagan, because we have no idea how OP and broken she's going to be, we should probably refill our juice boxes with our item before we face her. Because I'm sure it's going to be ridiculous. She was already a difficult fight in normal mode, and she's not going to be any easier. I would say the desk dudes and these mirror ladies don't get any more difficult in hard mode. Alright. Since we have teleport, I think we can just cheese this. What on earth are you? Admin's Enigma. On use, permanently trades 20 health for other stats. Ooh. That's gonna... I can't resist. Like, that's gonna kill me. I don't know enough about that item to really... You know what? Let's do it once and see what happens. We're going to do it once. That went so fast, I didn't even see. It said something about crit chance. I'm going to leave that be for now. So I'm guessing it can, like, increase your strength and fire speed and crit chance and all that good stuff. It's probably amazing, but we don't have full health or extra resources to be going around. If, and this is a big if we manage to beat Reagan, and we're in an okay position afterwards, maybe we can mess with it a little bit more, but... we are not going to do that. What we are going to do is use the rest of our juice boxes. And then refill them. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick up the use item just because we don't have one anymore. And hopefully I don't accidentally use it or be dumb and kill myself. One thing I can say, I have a habit of being greedy with items like this and exchanging health for things that are going to make me more damaging. It's a bad habit. It's kind of like I'm a gambler and there's like a slot machine right in front of me and I just can't, I can't not use it. What was that? She like shot, but nothing happened. So far she seems the same, other than the fact she's like glitching out on the wall a little bit. Okay, she gets an extra body double. which is okay. So we're getting more projectiles we have to dodge. That's tough. That's tough cookies. But you know what? Soft cookies are overrated. They're tasty, but you know, sometimes you want that hard ginger sap. Builds character. Teleport has some distinct advantages that I'm seeing. Just in that if you can learn to teleport through things, it's gonna help you out. 3 tornadoes, huh? You think that's excessive a little bit? Also, Relativity Sweetener isn't that bad. It's kind of nice getting that brief time slow just to get up close and shoot some shots, man. We're burning through juice boxes like nobody's business. And I don't like it. We should probably use chalk, to be honest, to finish her off, but we're almost there. Come on. Whew. We use half of our juice boxes to survive, which is no bueno. But you know what? We survived, and that's the important thing. Okay, it's very obvious we're going to go with the gluttonous floor. And since I'm an absolute coward, we're not going to face off against the gifted, because they're probably terrifying in their new hard mode forms. We're going to go with another Capulet floor, and hopefully refill some juice boxes. The best case scenario would be that we get enough juice boxes, which we probably won't, to be in a position where we can actually mess with the admin's Enigma here. I also just noticed that our pet there, it actually blocks projectiles. Alright. It's going okay so far. Nice. Gluttonous floors are far and away the best floor type. There's no two ways about it. And sometimes early on, maybe you don't need the gluttonous floor, but not needing the gluttonous floor is just a luxurious position to be in. This guy, man, look at this. He's worse than facing like Frothy the Dragon. Okay. That item is okay. And here is our bonus champion. A little bit of bonus range. That's okay. This is another very good upgrade. So 10% attack speed is okay. But the 20% damage against bosses. Bosses are usually where you live and die anyway. So it doesn't really matter that it's just against bosses. Still amazing. I think he might shoot more balls, I'm not sure. I mean, he was always kind of difficult, so it's hard to tell. Okay. We dodged it somehow. I'd like to see some more juice boxes. Alright. I wish this would stop giving us the Yulish Wreath. Like, I really wish it would stop doing that. Man, it's a sad day when you don't want anything in the vending machine. Like, I legit don't want anything. I could buy juice boxes. That's a thing I could do. I'm gonna use the admin's Enigma once. Damage and defense up, okay. Does defense mean we got resist or what? I mean, defense up, I mean, I'm willing to exchange life for that, because defense is like a permanent thing. Thank you, bonus juice. The unsung hero too is really the passive HP regeneration. So we have the diary that gives us some bonus on 5 enemies killed. We have the tokens where we pick up some tokens against some health, and we have the state which gives us health every floor. So they're really pulling their weight. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Alright, let's get all up in here. Not too excited about Sudsy's Ice Tree, but I am excited about the bonus juice we got. I wish I'd had a better upgrading. I agree, if I had been raked and watered, tended and gardened, maybe I'd be a nice plant with flowers. Like that gigantic one that shoots spores. Well, not as angry. These plants have such low self-esteem on this floor. So I don't know how hard I should go on the admin's Enigma. I really like the fact that it gave me damage and defense for 20 life. That was pretty sweet. But let's use a juice box. Enigma. Damage and defense up. Use a juice box. Enigma. Damage and defense up. I mean, it seems well worth it. Alright, boss time. Alright, let's see how the brick pile's different. Our damage seems to have increased quite a bit, because he's taking some heat here, man. He's going down fairly quickly. I don't want to overdo it on the admin's Enigma, but it seems It seems to have a very good payout. Wait, how do you get... I feel like some blob spawned right on top of him because he got bonus health. Oh, jeez. Somehow he took a lot of damage. I don't know what happened exactly. Alright, cool. Let's go. Underlit, I never managed to figure out if we get bonus XP. It would be Capulus again, but I'm gonna go with the too big because I'm scared of the underlit. It's really as simple as that. Our damage is quite good. It's quite good. I think what I'm going to do, once I get to 14 juice boxes, I'm going to use a juice box, attack speed and move speed up. Use a juice box, use the admin thing. Yes. I think it's the right decision. I don't want my manuscript. Juice box. Attack and move speed up. I think our defense may have reached like the maximum allowed since it's moved to move speed now. And I don't know if our attack even has an upper limit. Hopefully not. Did that... Wait a minute. Let me use it one more time. I think it might be taking 20 off of our maximum health as well. It totally is. Okay. It may not be as amazing as I initially thought. I don't really like that our maximum health is being depleted every time. And I think it's not going to give us any more defense, and I think we're fast enough. So, as to not tempt myself, it's going bye-bye. If anything, I'm too fast. Like, I'm literally tempted to pick that item back up and use it again. That's how bad I am. Alright. Maybe I'll use it one more time. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I'm definitely not taking it down to the next floor, because I'll end up killing myself. I'll be like, I am so powerful now, and I have like 20 total HP. And that'll be my maximum. I'll be the definition of a glass cannon. The less HP we have, the less effective our passive healing is as well. It pretty much feels like we're sprinting. Thank you for that. Like, I don't even think I want to be faster than this, to be honest. I've decided I'm not going to use it again. It's not a good decision. Especially if we're reaching game maximums. I almost have a fear that if we take upgrades, they might not take effect because we've reached the maximum from the Admin's Enigma. I'm not 100% sure if that'll happen, but I think we've gained a lot from it. And I'm not going to sacrifice any more of my health. Six kills in a row without missing grants 20% crit. I'm not going to take that for two reasons. One, I feel like I'm going to miss a lot since I have double shot, a spread, and I'm not sure if the fires count as missing too. Also, we may have reached max critical, and I'm not sure. So I'm gonna skip it. Okay. Plus 10. I don't really want more move speed. And I want to spend my tokens. We have so much move speed, I don't mind losing some. So let's just get some tokens, honestly. Let's get some tokens. And even though this makes me a bald-faced liar, since we just lost the move speed, no. I said I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. I need like an accountability partner here to stop me from making bad decisions. Okay. Okay, she's like really popping off with the frosty double summons. But we're fast and we can teleport through them. So I believe that makes this fight easier. Wow. We've gained a lot of attack strength. Alright. Let's go. You're carrying friends, alright. Our light circle is critically low. We took Nevermore's Inkwell, and we haven't gotten any light increasing items, so this is the position we're in because of that. Okay. Let's try not to choke now. Let's try not to choke. I think we have a chance of winning if we stay positive. And stay patient. And stay hydrated. Ooh. We have a memory room. And he's going to be hard to see. Okay, he went back here. And he went back again. Oh, Tony Hawk Pro Skater is hurting us bad. What is that? I thought it was a weird trombone, but it's like a crow cane. Okay. Okay, he went down. I'm hoping his memory room, if we get it, gives us some juice boxes. Are there people I'm supposed to be killing? I can't tell. I guess I got him. Okay. I am choking a little bit here. I don't think he went into any walls. I didn't see if he was in here or not. Ouch. I'm gonna check the walls just in case. Alright. I think we kind of lost him. Oh, there he is. I think I saw him go back up. Does that mean... I don't know. If we see him again, we see him again. But I'm not going to go after him, because I'm not sure where he went. Oh. Speak of the devil. Yikes. Tokens? Perhaps? He went back up. I guess that was the only token. Oh, shnikes! Okay. That's upsetting. We still had 10 juice boxes. I didn't realize they could do that much damage. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for Our Darker Purpose. Amazing game. I kinda wanna beat hard mode, but I think it's time for a break, maybe start something new.